The Difference Between Hunger and Satiety and the Role of Hormones and Peptides in Regulation by Jkuhn. Hunger versus satiety. The urge to eat is prompted by a feeling of hunger and ends when satiation occurs. Let's get started with some basic definitions. Hunger is a subjective sensation associated with the drive to obtain food. Appetite is a psychological desire to eat, regardless of feeling hungry. Satiation is the sensation of fullness, and satiety is the period after satiation when one is feeling full and satisfied. The role of hormones and peptides in regulation. A peptide is a compound made up of 2 or more amino acids, and a neuropeptide is a neurotransmitter found in the central nervous system. A hormone is a signaling molecule transported by the circulatory system for purposes of regulation. The hypothalamus is a small portion in the center of the brain that is responsible for a multitude of things, including hormone secretion. According to Summerfield and Ellis, it serves as the link between autonomic nervous system, which regulates physiological functions outside of voluntary control, and the endocrine system, which includes glands and hormones that deliver chemical messages throughout the body. Neurons in the hypothalamus receive information via receptors that are sensitive to hormones like insulin and leptin. Insulin is that hormone secreted by the pancreas in response to an increase in blood glucose levels. Insulin allows glucose to be taken up by the cells and is responsible for fat storage. When insulin levels drop, so does blood glucose, and this can stimulate hunger. Leptin is a hormone predominantly made by adipose cells in the small intestine that help to regulate energy balance by inhibiting hunger. The digestive system also releases peptides and hormones impacting the appetite. Through this assignment, I wanted to understand more about ghrelin, since it is the only hormone in the gastrointestinal tract that stimulates food intake. It is secreted in the stomach and reaches its highest levels before eating. The hormone activates the limbic system, impacting our association with pleasure, reward, and memory. During times of low caloric intake, ghrelin increases, then triggers thoughts of pleasure associated with consuming food. Ghrelin also inhibits activation of the hypothalamus signals that would trigger satiety, making it very difficult for the overweight or obese person to lose weight. In a recent study, researchers found that a significant inverse relationship exists between body mass index and fasting ghrelin levels. Obese children had significantly lower fasting ghrelin levels and increased insulin levels after a standard breakfast. These results suggest that the energy metabolism was already dysregulated at this young age. Both the hypothalamus and digestive systems help regulate the body weight by sending messages through the body that trigger the feelings of hunger and satiation. Understanding how and when specific hormones and peptides trigger these feelings may help lead to the development of more effective behavior responses to avoid the consumption of excess calories and weight gain. Because poor eating habits may negatively impact homeostasis, healthy eating habits and obesity prevention must start at a very early age.